Okay, so the first problem we have is if 9 is x% of 45, what is x% of 50? So I'm writing 9 equals is x%, meaning x over 100, of 45, and of means multiplication. So we are going to take your x%, x over 100, and we're going to be multiplying this value by 45. Okay, so x% of 45 is 9. That's another way of saying it. So now we have to solve for x. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 100. And 900, so 9 times 100 is 900, equals, and we're going to get 45x on the other side because the hundreds will cancel out. And remember to multiply 100 on both sides. So now x is 900 divided by 45, since we're dividing both sides by 45, to single out our x value. So please do that on a calculator if you have one right now. And our answer will be 20. So now we have to go back to the question. The question is asking not what x is, but rather what is x% of 50. So we're not done with the problem here. Don't just look for the answer that says 20. We need to do the same thing, same idea, except now we have our value of x. So now we're essentially doing 20% of 50, right? So our answer is x% of 50. That's what we're looking for. And so we'll just substitute in our value for x, which is 20. Now don't just write 20, 20% again. So it's 20 over 100. 20% is 20 over 100. Percent always means over 100. So 20% of, so multiplying 20% by 50 will be our final answer. So I'm just doing 0.2, 20%, 20 over 100 is also known as 0.2. Multiplying that by 50, and hopefully you have a calculator out so you can do this along with me. Please use your calculator so that you can do the next few problems along with me as well. And you can see if you're doing it right. Just do it ahead of me and see what you get. Compare answers. So if you do that on a calculator, you should get, let's see, 0.2 times 50 is 10. Okay. So that is our final answer, 10. So in this particular problem, we're not doing anything multiple choice for number 1, but on an actual SAT, it would be a multiple choice. You have A, B, C, D, E, and you would have to look for the answer that says 10. So don't be fooled and pick the answer that says 20 because that's just the value of x, but the problem is asking x% of 50, not for what x is. So 20% of 50 is 10. The answer is 10. Alright. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to the next problem. So if A is greater than 0 and A% of 10 is equal to 40% of B, what is the value of A over B? So we're going to show our work right over here. And now just keep in mind that A is greater than 0, okay? You want to keep that in the back of your mind, but right now we don't need to focus on that. That's at the end. So A% of 10. So A over 100, remember percent of indicates dividing by 100, so A divided by 100. And percent of 10, of means multiply, so A over 100 times 10 equals 40% of B. So percent of means 40% is 40 divided by 100. Percent meaning divided by 100, as I keep saying again and again. And so I'm just going to write that as 40 over 100. And of b, of, again, remember, of means multiply, so times b. And that's going to be our expression. But what we're trying to find is not a or b, but rather a divided by b. A over b equals what? That's what we're trying to find. So don't just solve for a or solve for b. You want a divided by b, and that's going to be the little, I guess, trick for this problem. So what I'm going to do first is multiply everything by 100, both sides. Remember, if you have equals, you have to multiply both sides by 100. So hundreds will cancel out on both sides, and we'll get a times 10, right? Because the hundreds canceled out, so I'm just going to write that as 10a equals 40b. All right, so again, if we go back, we know we're trying to find a over b. So first, I'm just going to divide both sides by 10 to simplify our expression here. So now we have 1a, or just a, equals 4b. So I just divided both sides by 10 to get rid of the zeros, and now we have a equals 4b. That is our expression right now. But we're not trying to find a. We want a over b. Okay? So what we should do is divide both sides by 4, and by b, and then we will be able to get a over b. So if we divide both sides by b, we will end up getting a over b equals 4, because the b's will cancel. And that is actually going to be our final answer. So our answer is 4. So you're going to pick the answer's choice that says 4. Okay, so I'm going to move on to I'm just going to go back and just say that a has to be greater than 0, so you want to check that at the end, and our value 4 is greater than 0 is our value. Okay, so for number 3, if j and k are positive numbers, what percent of, so percent means divided by 100, of means multiplication, so percent of, that's just a common phrase that you will have to memorize, you will have to know. Hopefully you know that already. So j3 plus 4 is k, means equals. So we're trying to find what percent of. So the what, we can represent that as a variable. So we're going to say that's x. What percent? X percent. So we're going to write x percent of, so x over 100 times j3 plus 4. So x percent of j3 plus 4. What percent of j3 plus 4? Equals is k. Okay. So what percent? We're trying to solve for x. So don't solve for j or k. Solve for x. Okay? And so now we're going to multiply both sides by 100 just to get rid of the fractions. I always try to make sure that I can get rid of the fractions. It's so much easier to work that way. So we're going to get 100k on the right side. Remember, both sides are multiplied by 100. Okay, so now I'm going to divide by j3 plus 4 to isolate the x. So if I divide both sides by j3 plus 4, the left side with the x, the j3 plus 4s cancel out, and you are left with only x, and that's what we're trying to find. So we end up getting x on the left side. So we have x equals, and then we just simply have 100k over j3 plus 4, because there is, we can't simplify that expression anymore. I'm sorry, I forgot to write the k. Sorry about that. But I meant to write that x equals 100k over j3 plus 4. So, let's see. We can cancel out a, b, c, e. It's pretty much easy now because we know what the answer is. So it's simply going to be d because that matches our answer right here. Okay. So, now, let's see. So just to reinforce again, a is greater than 0, x% of 45, percent means divided by 100, just reinforcing those concepts so you can remember. What we learned and what we're focusing on in this lesson is to know that percent means divided by 100, of means multiply. What is x% of 50? That means you're trying to not just find x, but actually find x% of 50. So don't just find x and that's your answer. No, that's wrong. And most likely that will be one of the answer choices, ready just to trick you because they know you're going really fast through the SAT and you're probably going to skip over that and just find x. And that's not going to cut it. Also, what percent of? So what percent of means what has to be represented as a variable. It could be y, z, a. Most likely it will be a or x. Those are the most common variables that you can use. But again, anything, again, a over b, we're not just trying to find solely a or solely b, we're trying to find a over b. Okay, so guys, I just want to say thank you so much for watching my channel, and this is the very first video I made, so I'm sorry if I was too slow, or if it was boring, or if I understand that the problems were fairly easy that I was doing. They're very easy actually for compared to most of the other problems on the SAT, but I just wanted to see how my first video goes. I've never done tutorials or anything like this, but I promise there will be an upcoming video with more challenging math problems that will be much more helpful, and I hope this video was helpful anyway, just to like reinforce some math concepts that might be easily forgotten, or just to go through some of the common problems on the SAT. Alright, so I would love if you guys could give me some feedback, just like comment below and tell me, oh, what should I do better, what was already good, what kinds of videos, video tutorials I should do. I was also planning on doing some of the writing section of the SAT, doing some problems from the writing section as well. So not only math, but also writing and perhaps reading. I don't know. I'm not the ultimate best for reading, but I'll see what I can do for that. So again, there will be an upcoming video with more challenging math problems. But for those of you out there who watched this entire video, thank you so much, and please let me know, give me some feedback on how I can do better, and what you would like to see, because I would really want to do videos that my viewers would actually want to see. So again, thank you so much, and I hope you learned something from this video.